Hey guys, as you can see, I ended up putting my graphics card back together. Um, it's starting to actually really nag on me. Um, Seeing all the news coming out of how hard it is to get a hold of graphics cards, I was getting a little leery about this thing being modded and overclocked. So I put everything back the way it was. New heat paste and new actually pads that I cut out myself to go on the RAM chips. Um, The only issue I had with the mod is there was one RAM chip that was on the side of the cooler that I couldn't get a heatsink in or on, and it was half underneath the plate that's there and half underneath the plate, the heat plate itself. And if I tried putting any kind of heat pad on it, it would the clearance, there wouldn't be enough clearance. So I ended up leaving it out. And in the couple of times that I played Doom Eternal, I kept getting these weird issues with the map, the walls in the map, and then when I restarted, it would go away. It was consistent with something that was overheating, so I'm guessing that one RAM chip was overheating, which made me want to change it out even more. um, when this is all over and there's stock of graphics cards again, I'll probably go back to cooling it, water cooling it, but for now I'm just going to leave it stock with the extra fan on the bottom to cool it. I got rid of the RGB, put all the original RAM sticks back together, the Viper covers. There's only one AIO in here right now. The other one's taken out since that card isn't being cooled. Actually got a project in the basement that I want to start up. I want to actually start building a rack server, something I haven't done in a while, a long time actually. 2000 anyway. I had a server room at one time. I want to be serving up some movies and MP3s and stuff in the house. In the house, and we're gonna take you down there and we're gonna pull it apart. It's the old HP Z400. It's got some issues that I need to go over, and actually I'll show you the case that I'm interested in. This is the one here. It's a Roswell 1.0, and there's a few reviews on it, and people are quite happy with it. I like it because it's, if you can see this fan setup here, I can actually put the rad in behind that and blow the air across out the back. So that'll actually work with my my AIO. So that's probably what we're going to pick up. That'll be the next project for the channel. I am aware that the Z400, HP Z400 power supply is too big to fit in here, but we're going to mod that out too. And when we're done with this, it'll be a nice home server. So let's go downstairs and have a look at the computer in question. Well, here it is. I ended up pulling the heatsink out of it. This is the one that was in it. Believe it or not, it's actually a Cooler Master. It's not bad for Intel. I ended up cleaning it out, but I'm definitely going to keep that. It's a 5-pin. I know many things that run on 5-pin, but apparently these are OEM for these Z400s. Well, they're Xeon processors, so I think it's a 5-core or 4-core, or is it 6? No, it's 6-core. So what we're going to do is we're going to gut it. It's also got quite a bit of RAM in there. As you can see that. You can't run it without this because it overheats, so we're going to have to figure out something for the RAM. I got the water deep cooler in there. That's from the other mod I did on the video card. It was actually quite easy to put it back together. Didn't really do any damage. I just basically popped out the threads so I could get it to fit the video card, but it fits fine there, and it works. We're only going to need one CD-ROM, and once I transfer this all over to the new case, I can have multiple drives and everything else. Like, it'll be a home server. I'm going to move it down here where I can just stick the rack right in there and drill a hole in the bench and bring the wires up for the monitor. It'll save room on the bench as well. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pull this out and pull the board and everything out of it and try and get it working out of the box. I'm pretty sure that we got to try and salvage some of the power buttons and everything else, because since it is OEM, there's actually a thermal diode or something on that switch as well. If you unplug it, then it'll come up as it will error out when you boot up the computer. So I don't know. Well, I've seen it online, but I've never seen it when I had this part. So we'll have to have a look at that. So let's get this pulled out and start pulling it apart. So it looks a little better when you put it on the bench. So right now I got a 1 TB in it. 1 terabyte. I've always hated this case. I'm looking forward to getting rid of it. Nothing has ever fit in it properly. This is the card I'll be using in it. We'll have to do a repair on this one as well. It's missing a cap. Don't know where it went. Cool. Try and do this without removing the AIO. This is the NIC that I built about a month ago. Still works great. It's got a laptop Wi-Fi card in it. Now, when we're at it, we'll take some stuff off of it, because I am chucking the case out. Save everything, including the fans. Foxconn. Those are different. These are all compact screws. Okay, sure what I'm going to need for those screws, those compact screws. How's that work? Doesn't seem to be sliding out. It does have a latch on it. Give me a minute. It's hitting against the CD-ROM, which we don't need anyway. Which one is that? That's the DVD-ROM. Excuse me. Take out the power supply. Now we should be able to just slide the board and AIO out. Sweet. Okay, let's put this stuff on a safe place until we get the rest of this board gutted, or case gutted. Leave it there. Don't move. So it's basically what it looks like. Okay, we're gonna save the PSU for now. Not with that, we're not. There's supposed to be a mod. I'll have to look it up for re-jumping some of the wires to put a standard ATX power supply on it. This one is much bigger. Not by much though. It might actually fit that that rack server case. Let's see. If I could like tap two holes in the case and open that up a bit, and on the side, if there's room, I would put the original power supply in it. It's not a bad one. Alright, so there's the power supply. Slip the ROMs out. This thing is a beast. There's the OEM. Yeah, so there's a temp sensor right there. This is it goes by the case temps, and it's got this OEM plug on it. So we can still use this. We just got to leave this dongle on it. And this, my friend, will go to the curb. I'm just gonna pull these plates off though. Never have enough of those. Actually, I need one of those for upstairs. This is the USB 2.0 and the FireWire. Don't need that. We're going to need this though. See if we can pull this through. This will hop the mod, but we'll mod it the day we're doing the mod, but when we're installing everything in the case. Which I already got an idea how to do, so that's the only reason I'm buying the case, because I got the plan already. There's nothing to it. 2 LEDs and a power switch. Easy enough to mod. We'll still use the original OEM plug. That's it. I'm going to scrape the Windows serial number off of it, or the product serial number. And the rest goes in the trash. Maybe take some stickers off. Xenon sticker, take that off. That's about it. Alright, once the case comes in, we'll do a part 2. Oh wait, no. I'm going to put this together and fire it up on the bench. Duh. Give me a minute. Yeah, that's one thing I like about this board. It's the layout of all the SATA connectors and everything else. Look at the VRM on that, for that processor. It's brutal. So we're going to basically put everything back in the way it was. Nick. I'm going to let it run on this on the bench a couple of days. Make sure the water cooler and that is good. One thing I am going to use this for also is streaming server. I find it works pretty good for that. Mind you, when it has sound. I blew the sound card in it. I should actually see if I can repair that. I doubt I can. It's probably gone, beyond gone. I plugged an input into I plugged it into an amp, and the amp went dead short, and it sent a surge up to the computer. I'm lucky it didn't blow the whole thing. Hard drive. Now I don't know which is number 1. I think it's number 5. With the blue one here. It says 5 over here. So that's 6. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Well, SATA 0 is number 5. Whatever. Or number 1. Hard drive. Don't want that on top of the power supply. Our dongle. Which way did that go? It only fits one way. Double check everything. before we even turn it on. Keyboard and mouse. Yeah, so we should be able to just slide that right into the new case, and what I could do is actually the plate that the board is being held in, we can glue that right in. Now it seems weird, but it'll actually work pretty good. I'll keep the back plane here. Alright. I think we're good. There's no power switch. We should be able to just hit the power button. Double check everything. No CD-ROM. I think that's right. No, it's not. Unplug it quickly. This is. Okay, it's powering up. I've got both fans here. Oh, one fan's unplugged. Don't have the room for it. For now. So it's saying USB not detected. Let's bring it up. USB not detected. Audio not detected. That's the plugs that are still in the case because they're not plugged in there. We're not going to use them anyway. And it says low power CPU heatsink detected for high power CPUs. That's just water cooled anyway. Who cares? As long as it boots. Hello. Oh, there we go. Cool, it's booting. Alright, I guess it's ready to go. I'm going to let it run for a couple of days. I'm going to run FooMark on it and everything else just to make sure there's no issues with it. I ended up going with a different video card now. HD 7570. The NVIDIA one needs to be repaired. And there's no drivers for Windows 10 for that one, so it's only good for 7. I am trying Plex just to see what the speed is like, and I literally just started scanning the drive. Take you upstairs and show you how quick it is with the wireless. It's actually pretty good. Surprisingly, it doesn't have any lag, which I usually would get with Plex. So, quick, see how well this works. Don't want to piss off YouTube. Try again. That's not bad. Be better once it's finished scanning the drive, but it does work. It's kind of cool. And like I'm gonna use it for files and everything else, but at least now I can get at my media and watch some movies. Later, guys.